And I said, hey, banana, dum, 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 banana, what you got to say? Hollywood, dum, 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 Hollywood swinging. It's the Old Wrestling Podcast, Mania Edition, Night 2. I'm your host, CW. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to hit that bell on YouTube and subscribe to the podcast on any and all podcasting platforms. We are on the other side of WrestleMania, folks. WrestleMania 39 is in the books. What a two-night event. I was skeptical about having WrestleMania on 2 nights, and now I am a believer. I loved it. I loved every moment of it, even the bad parts. There were a couple. But what a main event. Am I right, guys? Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns tore it down. Let's hop right into it. Roman retains. The tribal chief remains on top of the mountain. I think I called it. I think I said Cody should not go over. I don't remember why I said it. I say a lot of things on this podcast, but it was said at some point. Everyone thought Cody was going over. They were really pushing that narrative. They wanted a happy ending, and they gave us the swerve, and I appreciated it. You know, by the middle of the match, I could have gone either way. I was like, if Cody wins, I'm happy. If Roman retains, I'm happy. And Roman retained in typical bloodline fashion, but when you have a faction as dominant as the bloodline, of course Jimmy and Jay are going to show up. Why wouldn't they? The fact that they dropped the titles and Reigns didn't gives us a lot of good storyline opportunities for the six of them, with Raw after Mania coming up tonight. Who knows who's getting called up? I believe Braun Breaker is coming up. He just dropped the title to Carmelo Hayes, I believe. So he's definitely coming to the main roster, probably headed to SmackDown. Will probably show up on Raw, honestly. But who knows? Maybe there's another Bloodline member on his way up. I don't know, but all I know is that Cody Rhodes tore it down. He had a great emotional moment when he said hi to his family before his match. He and Roman both got 45-minute entrances. Their match was clean. They pulled off moves that would have been, fumbled in other people's hands. Cody went for some sort of springboard hurricanrana and nearly missed Roman. Roman just muscled him up, just caught him and just held him up for the powerbomb. It was a recipe for disaster had it been miscalculated, even a tenth, and they pulled it off. Fantastic match. Congratulations to Roman Reigns. Congratulations to Cody Rhodes. No one walks out of that match on the wrong end. Everyone goes over. Fantastic match, and Cody will get his time to shine with the title sometime this year. Probably SummerSlam. Who knows? On the rest of the card, Bobby Lashley showed up to show off this heavy-ass trophy for no reason. That happened. He didn't get a match, but Shane O'Mac did. For some reason, Shane McMahon reared his very old muscular head and blew out both his knees. Man, I saw that old man go down, and the first thing I typed to Dad's first time was, he dead. He down and he dead. They're going to bury him underneath the ring. Why did his old behind go down there and do whatever he was going to do? Now, look, I've read a couple lines on the internet that Shane McMahon legitimately got injured. Other people are saying that it was all a work because Snoop was supposed to do the, awkward old man elbow, even though his height on that elbow was very clean. I appreciate the jump. The run was weird. But if Shane did get hurt and Snoop and that team called that whole play, that whole audible to kind of get the segment going, kudos to all of them. It was great improv. Snoop held his own, did his thing, pulled it off fantastically. Asuka went down. Bianca came out on top once again, 3-peat. Again, no one really expected much from that match because there was no build. Asuka's had no character development since she's come back, besides having some face paint on. I'm not a big proponent of face paint. I think it's always silly. But, I mean, here we are on the other end. Asuka lost. Now both of Bianca's old cronies have taken her on and fallen to the EST. I don't know where they go from here, but that happened. What else? What else happened on this card? I'm so jazzed from that last match. I'm drawing a blank. Omos took on Brock Lesnar in a better than I thought it would be match. Omos, they didn't do a whole lot, and Omos, didn't look as awful as I expected. He always has a long way to go, and again, I'll just say he can do things that I can do. So kudos to him. He tossed Brock around. Brock obviously picked up the win, but it wasn't a squash. So, good on them all. Edge took on Finn in what was a Hell in a Cell match. A lot of standing around happened, but, it was a fine match. Can't complain. Wouldn't complain. The women's four-way match was what it was. I don't know if it was good. It was definitely short. And I think the highlight was Raquel Rodriguez powerbombing her partner into all the women on the outside of the ring. And then Ronda Rousey and her broken arm came in and made Shotzi tap to, I think it was an armbar. I didn't get a good clean look at it. But yeah, Ronda and Shayna go over. They're going after the titles on Raw. Again, Monday night is going to be bananas. But not last and certainly not least, flippin' Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre tore the house completely off its ass. You want to talk about match of the night candidate. Those three meaty men slapped meat for minutes and put on an amazing show. They absolutely brutalized each other. It was less of a wrestling match and more of a fight. Gunther came out on top, as we all predicted, which was best for business, honestly. Gunther needs to hold that title and continue to hold the prestige. Again, he is a made man after Rumble. He did his thing. He ended it on a powerful note. He literally powerbombed Sheamus into Drew McIntyre, then picked up Drew McIntyre, powerbombed his ass too for the pin. But the match was incredible. The match was fun. It was a fun wrestling match. It was a fun wrestling match. I said it twice because I meant it. Those three men, Drew, Gunther, and Sheamus, definitely went out for beer after that because they 100% tore the house down. It was match of the night. Roman and Cody had a great match, but they didn't have that match. That the Intercontinental Championship match was the fun match of the night. Roman and Cody were more the dramatic match of the night. It was a fantastic card. What an amazing thing to have WrestleMania on 2 nights. It gives them more opportunity to do more things. I appreciate it. There were some, low spots where they could have inserted some more content, like Bobby Lashley coming out and holding that, Andre the Giant trophy, clearly struggling with walking around with it, was weird. The fact that Shane O'Mac got a match and blew out his knees and LA Knight didn't show up after all that talk and bluster of him having his own WrestleMania moment. There was just some things they could have added, but again, hindsight is 2020. Beggars can't be choosers. I enjoyed my time with WrestleMania, and I, again, appreciate all the hard work that went into such an amazing event, from the production staff to the crews who are helping people park their cars, to the stadium folks, to the announcer. Hey, can we shout out Michael Cole having the time of his flippin' life? I've never heard more enthusiasm out of that man than in the past 8 months or so. That man is having the most fun. He's being the best announcer possible, and he's really washing away a lot of the stink he had on him from when someone was in his ear telling him to say the worst things possible. Did you enjoy your time with WrestleMania 39? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to tell a friend about the show, and don't you ever forget,
I'm your friend, but if I ever see you in the ring, I can beat you. Don't you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.